Hello, Sag. How are you? Welcome to the November readings. Yes, my voice is a little wonky, but I'm good. This is CJ, and we are pulling a lot of oracle cards this month simply because it is the time where the veil is thin and our ancestors, angels, passed on loved ones want to come through. So we're going to pull quite a few of these angel cards and ancestors. And remember, may not resonate with everyone. So I have 4 oracle decks that we're going to pull from, and then we'll get into some tarot to clarify it, see if that ties it all together. But if not, take the messages as they come. We're not doing a very specific kind of reading this month. There's so much to go on towards the end of the year here. So I was really called to tap into the spirit messages. Wow. And speaking of star ancestors, right there. Some of you may identify with being a star seed, light worker, of which we all are regardless, but indigo child, like a variety of these you might identify with Palladian, Venusian, and many of the other star systems that are out there. But this says, follow the voice of your soul. So your star ancestors may be calling you in this time, telling you it is time. And I love how they use the Egyptian pyramids here, and there's lights at the top of the pyramids that aren't there technically, but are there, and they're just those points to align you to where your destiny is. Powerful month in November for you, Sag. You have the shapeshifter. It's literally a time for you to change, transform, and unveil your gifts. So between the star answers and the star ancestor and the shapeshifter, you may be called to move in different circles, unveil things that people may not know about you. Step into your power in a way people may not understand or recognize about you. The Knight, be brave and honest. And this can be with yourself more than anything else. But it can also be with those around you. And White Witch, be the light. What was I saying about being a light worker? All of us are light workers because we're here on this planet at this time doing this work. It's not easy work. Trust me. Not easy work in any of these generations. But now we know there is this great battle where we've been in the dark. Now we're coming to the light. And there's this tug of war between the dark shadows, the dark energy, and those that are hanging on to power, as opposed to the light and the way that the planet is looking to shift and move into, right? Deep time, but wow, thank you, Saggies, all of you out there for doing this work, and also reminding to do what is right for you. Not that you wouldn't be brave and honest anyway, but what was the next one? Okay, we're going to get into the energy oracles next. I did pull the animal messages because there's a lot of animals that are shown in the ancestor card and the angel card, because many of our messages come through animals. And here you have owl. You also have wolf and eagle. So if those animals mean anything to you, this could definitely be an additional message. Thank you, Spirit. Rest and rejuvenation in the energy coming up here. This is like the Four of Swords energy. Little time for you to take some time out, rejuvenate, meditate in retreat, and a contract coming up. So you might be signing a new contract for a home, for business, making another contract with souls. Be very cautious about that. But it can also be a win in business or something in your personal life. Okay, let's get into our shaman oracles. Saggies for the month of November, please. Remember, this is for all positions within Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and the nodes. Did that card been? I did. Been to card already. It's a new deck. I've already destroyed it. Horseman, Herald of Change. Kind of looks like a centaur, doesn't it? In some ways, but this is about change. You are heralding a change. There is a change afoot. Remember, follow the voice. Be brave and true. Shifting into your gifts. Very powerful time for you. A new change is coming into your solar return. This end of the year. Watchers, transpersonal. Here you go again with the star seeds. The watchers, those that are helping you. Wow, look at this. I love this ancient architecture, these what we consider altars or buildings that are designed to worship something. But you are so connected in some way here. And straddling worlds, my goodness, Sag, wandering between the realms. If you really do consider yourself a starseed, or you have explored astral travel before, been on the astral plane, in this time where we are dealing with a lot of thin veil with messages coming through from all sides, you may be over stimulated by it, inundated, I'm getting the feeling. But pay attention, because there's such great messages in there for you, for your family, for the growth, for the earth. Extraordinary time, and you're the light. They're telling me that you have the ability to bring this forth. Oh, animal messages. Thank you, Spirit. Bring something forth, whether it's for your world. And you have double sixes here. 6 and 6. If this is something in your world, changing your life on the micro, and in what your universe is, or if this is universal as for all of us, because we're all connected anyway. And what you change in your daily life and with your family changes us all, right? Now, scrutiny, looking at things, might be investigating quite a few things. Coyote. Wow. Okay, Coyote. Let me pull one more, and then we'll get into the messages. One more, please, Spirit, Angels, and Guides from my beautiful Sagittarians. The month of November, thank you. An elk with the 3. Love it. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Hang on for me 1 second. I'm going to pause this video. Sorry about that interruption, guys. My daughter was calling, and you know what happens when a kid calls. You just, don't care how old they are. You're always like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? So, my apologies. We were talking about our animal spirit guides and our animal spirits that we have coming in here for you. We have 20 with mouse, which is generally, which is about scrutiny, looking at things through a micro, scope kind of thing, investigating, deciding. You might be looking at some things in your life, in your contracts, definitely, but in life in general, looking at okay, thank you. Some of you may be experiencing awakening, right, in some way, shape, or form. And your earthly side is having you look at all of the reasons why not. That could be mouse energy also. But you can also be in this reveal of, my gosh, you are not only a herald of change, but you have transpersonal watchers here from all sorts of the worlds looking at you, the straddling of the two worlds, which is extraordinary. And you might be investigating that, diving deep into what does that mean, some spiritual teachings, some trainings, even in your own world, as it pertains to your work or your home or your life, like really going deep and figuring things out for yourself, why these situations are happening. And why do I say that? Because you also have Coyote here, and Coyote is known as the trickster. It's the fun, it's the humor, it's reminding us, which is so important with all of the heaviness of earthly change here, universal, the answers of the universe coming at you to the level of ability that you have to understand them, that you remember that you have to have fun with this. And it's not that it's a joke, but you don't want to go so deep into the scrutiny that you forget to laugh at yourself and to see the synchronicities in your life and to see some of the folly. And this isn't just of our own seriousness, but of the world in general. It can also be about taking ourselves too seriously. And this is when there's that practical joke that we play on ourselves comes to light. You know, you carry too many things and you know you're going to drop one, but you're like, no, I've got it. And of course you drop something, or you trip. You know, it's kind of like the coyote reminding you, or things that you do that your family's like, remember the time when you baked it and you forgot to put sugar in it? You know, it's like that kind of stuff. But it can also be about just taking the world and looking at it through a much more light-hearted sense with coyote energy here. And then, interestingly enough, because you go from scrutiny to trickster to humor to lighthearted playfulness, and then you have elk, which is about stamina. You may not be the fastest to get to this understanding, or the fastest to get to the goal, fastest to get to your contract, or to have this awakening in your life, however it's occurring for you. But you will have more stamina at the end. It's also a card about sexes in this regard, that during the mating time, the elk, which is a solitary animal, goes in community with either brotherhood or sisterhood. And there can be great strength for you right now in a group of same gender energy. You know, this is really hitting me hard. I'm going to look up this specific meaning for the Watchers here. It's a new deck, and I'm getting messages, and they keep putting me back to this. So I just want to remind you guys, serendipity, the observer witness. When Watchers appear, it is an invitation to stop doing, pause, get off the treadmill, and take a deep breath. Find the witness within, the one who can observe the fire and fury happening around you, but is not caught up in any of the drama, which is a very difficult thing for us to do right now, is to not choose sides, to allow, to be, right? And there's rest and restoration here. And you may be seeing a lot of this going on, and yes, you want to herald change, and you want to be a part of the solution, and that is a great energy, and probably what your gift is for here. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to choose a side. Sometimes by not choosing, that is the gift, and showing others that we're all connected, and it's time to watch the folly that's going around us and not react to it. And by not reacting, that creates the change, and others see you not reacting and being strong within yourself. Oh, it's extraordinarily powerful and deep message. And this particularly says, do not engage with the action happening around you. Simply observe. The Watchers show up to direct your attention to the horizon and away from the anthill in front of you. Others might think you're simply doing nothing, but let them know you are helping the sun to set in the evening sky. Hard to do. Hard to watch. But by not focusing on the drama and seeing the bigger picture, you're aligning with the herald of change, straddling the worlds, and being, as you saw here, being able to follow your voice because you're watching all of this happen below you. And even the coyote comes to say, look at this farce. It's such a farce. They're focused on this instead of this. The bigness, the vastness, the great void, the great mystery, all things that can be created, what we're aligning to. And this is in your little world as it is in our big world, right? So we're in our day-to-day, not to assume that it's little, but to assume in our space, my world is here, the world is here. But this little world is a drop of the whole, right? Or the whole is a drop within the little, if you're in Buddhist mentality. But my goodness, Sag, wow. This is very powerful. Lots of change. You might be awakening to certain gifts or amplifying those gifts, but you may also be in a situation where there's a lot of drama. Let's boil it down to the day-to-day. In November, there might be drama. And this rest and relaxation, and also the coyote about stop being such in scrutiny and fine-tuning on the negative or the details of a situation, and remember that it's in the long game. Right? We're here for the long game. So let's have the stamina to step back and watch it and let it play out. And your concern is more about watching the sunset in the evening than it is about the drama that's in front of you right now. I know it's a big ask. I know. But what a lesson if we can all get to that point, right? Okay, let's get some tarot. This is the Dreams of Gaia. I use this in this time when the veils are thin, and boy, veils are thin for you for sure. Your star ancestors are coming through big time. Wow, 8 of Swords coming through. This has come through to, oh no. That was 7 of Swords. But this is the 8 of Swords coming in here. And wow, what a powerful image this is. If you notice, there's a sword pointing up towards the light, and then there is a sword pointing into the hand that has caused pain. And normally in the 8 of Swords, there is this great illusion, right? It's an illusion that's around you. And if you just roll to one side or the other, you will break the bubble, which you see in a lot of these, or you will, something that's, your hands are tied, but if you just open, do a little movement, you're going to break the string. You see also here that his belt is chained, right? So this angel is showing you that there is pleasure and pain. It's in your illusion. How do you feel it? You're not trapped. You have the decision-making power. You have the ability to change whatever's happening in your world. This 8 of Swords. It might feel like that, but it isn't. The 4. Now you have the 4 of Swords, which generally means rest. In this card, though, it is a little bit about mechanical thinking. Like, look at this. Very auto AI. It's like automatic in a way. Like maybe routines, things, ways of thinking, what have you. But it's in the reverse. And this is a way of breaking out of that thinking. In this deck, in other decks, it's completely different. You can tell by the look of the card and the figure of how robotic it is. Wow, here you go, Sag. There's your fire. Look at you. 9 of Wands, celebrating beauty. Now, in other decks, this would be about protecting what you've created, protecting what you own. The pause before you get to the 10 of Wands, where you've been so exhausted that you're waiting for this new cycle to begin. But in here, this is such an alignment with all things that are beautiful. The sacred rose is there. The third eye is lit up. There's a great lightness in this fiery image here. Can be about protecting your assets and all things that have meant things to you, but I'm really feeling about you aligning. You have the sacral chakra is highlighted there also down at the bottom, which is sensuality and beauty and the things that bring great joy to your world. Oh my gosh. And here again, 9 excuse me, the 9 of Cups, 9 of enlightenment, 9 of wishes coming true. As you see this figure, she's looking up into the sky, being blessed with all this information that is coming to her. But the 9 of Cups is also about wishes fulfilled. It's also about aligning and self-care and taking care of oneself and doing the things that you love. Wow, goodness. All right, Saggy. And here you go. Death and rebirth, Scorpio. So we're doing this in Scorpio season, and Scorpio has come. This is the egg, the birth, the alignment. Snake with the transformation of shedding one's skin. Death and rebirth, because where there is death, there can only be life. It's a universal law. So where something ends, maybe shedding an old skin, shape-shifting and transforming yourself, you're aligning to what you're birthing new. A rebirth of yourself, a reawakening, learning, hearing new things. It's an extraordinary time, and I generally only do these kind of readings in the November month or October because of all of the energy that comes through your spirit guides, and comes through all the time. But in this particular time frame, there's so many more messages that you can hear. And for Saggies, this is looking like a great spiritual awakening or changing of the mind, or even a changing of a lifestyle. And it may come through the messages that you're receiving, but it also could come through this contract. All of a sudden, this contract with all of these other things about being brave and honest and joy and beauty and relieving yourself of misguided ways and going into what you really want and birthing yourself anew, this could be the center that changes everything in the way that you look at it. Someone you made a contract with in your past life coming, or in a universal life, a soulmate that has come to remind you of that. A contract you might have made with yourself about why you were here in this plane. A contract physically for a job or a new assignment in some way that now opens the world up to you in different areas. You have a great sense of humor about all the seriousness that's happening, but you've had to go through a little bit of it yourself and scrutinize. A little shadow work, really. And you may be doing it now, because we're talking about the now in November. But it does feel like as you come into your birth month and your solar return, that, wow, you're going to have a new sense of self, which is extraordinary. Sense of purpose, sense of life. All right, let's get a clarifier here for these tarot cards, please, for our Saggies for November. You have multiple threes, 2 3s, 2 4s. The numerology in this time means a little bit more, so I tend to read it. Well, actually, you have 13 13, the divine feminine number. So you have 13 13, 4 4 4, 3 and 3. And okay. And 6 and 6. And 9 and 9. Don't forget those. All right. So here's your clarifiers. Went flying through. Yeah, look at this. The 8 of Swords. You're not trapped, Sag. The door is open. Like, if you look at this, you can see this window is cracked and this lock isn't even, it's not secured. All you have to do is take the lock off and walk out. Something that might have made you feel trapped, or like you had no way out. You can't see it the way out. There is an opening for you. The King of Swords, Archangel Michael coming through. You might have that breakthrough. You might have a Gemini, a Libra, Aquarius that comes to assist you, but you will align to your truth. Lots of Swords energy here. And 9, the Hermit. The answers may come in this rest and rejuvenation time. Virgo, major arcana, but also a spiritual retreat, seeing things differently. You may be called to take a little time out in your world to just think about, okay, up is coming is my solar return, and in this month, happy birthday for November Saggies. But with the 9s, 999 now, there's a change happening. There is a change, and it is going to be not only spiritual, but it's going to feel like a new birthing of Sagittarius. It doesn't matter what age you are. You may go in a completely different path or discover something that's so extraordinary you never thought you would see it in your lifetime. Have fun with it, because there's a lot of serious cards here, but there is the Coyote reminding you to have some fun with all of this, because life is about joy. That's the highest vibration that you can have. Love and joy. Okay. Oof. Remember, I love this depiction of the card here. The key to that lock is around your neck. You are the key to releasing and letting go of anything. Any simple change. I don't like this, I'm going to do this. I don't like that. This is not working the way I want. Remember, you're the horseman and the herald of change. Ah, just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous energy. Okay. I'm going to lay off on this because I could go on for hours. It's so deep. So instead, let's send you some love and blessings. And I hope you have a great birthday if you're a November baby. And I will talk with you all soon. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.